Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, before we get started, I'd like to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, with Kakadash. And double honor to those great meal, so I let you truth. And also to the whole elect that is scattered abroad. I'd like to say shalom. And come back here today with another great, powerful lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. The title of the lesson is Famine is Coming to America. So I'd like to say shalom to all our listeners and learners. Hope this will help you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. So that everybody, they're constantly telling you about food shortage. They're constantly telling you that, freight is not coming in, nothing coming in and nothing going out. And that about a lot of people still are not considered. A lot of our people still don't know the signs of the time. And that about all this has been engineered from the left-hand side. And the devil's getting ready to fill his belly. And that about they're getting ready to talk about the sovereignty of America, and that about coming up on May the 22nd through the 28th, and that about that, a lot of people still are not believing, still don't have the faith, still are scoffing and mocking, and that about it. It is about to get real, and that about Biden already said that there will be food shortage, and that about what will you do when you don't have anything to eat? What will you do when you don't have water, when you don't have lights, when you don't have somewhere that you can be comfortable? And that about the Lord is getting ready to take you out of that comfort zone. And that about it is about to get real. And that about the Lord is getting ready to move through the earth. And that about he's getting ready to bring that recompense and judgment. And that about we constantly warning you left and right. So great death and great mourning is right upon it. We at the beginning of sorrow. Jacob trouble, at the beginning of it. And that about a great tribulation period that we've never seen before. Starvation is coming back in a big way. We constantly warn you left and right. It is here. It is at the door. Cyber attacks and that about it is here. World War III has begun. So a lot of things are happening. Bible prophecies are being fulfilled left and right. And also the end is being manifest. And that about and the great day of the Lord is fast approaching. So the title of the daily lesson once again is Famine is Coming to America. So I got a little short video clip. Then after the video clip, we'll put a few precepts in scripture, just a very short lesson through the spirit, and hope that you get edified by the lesson today. So we get started. One moment. And here is the video.
Famine is coming to America. Part to cyber attacks are a part of modern warfare. It's been in the Bible this whole time.
Go home early from work because the lights are all out and none of the computers work. So then when you try to get out of the parking lot, the gate's not working and somebody's got to force that open. And then the traffic lights aren't working. So you're trying to make it home through all kinds of traffic and all kinds of accidents and things like that. Then you remember you had to go to the supermarket. So you try to go to the supermarket, and apart from a huge crowd of people rushing in and rushing out, they're not taking credit cards, the lights are out, people are just grabbing anything. And you remember you don't have any cash. So then you say, well, how about the gas station? And you realize they're not taking any cash either. And not only that, but there's fistfights going on at the gas station. So now you finally get home and you look inside, no lights, no refrigerator working. And this is just day one.
So you heard what he said. So all of a sudden, people gonna have panic attacks and everything when they see them when these cyber attacks come, when there's no more money, there's no more food, no more water, and that about it. It will be real to you. That realization will set in. So a lot of people right now in the house of murder, constantly drinking and being merry, and in thy security, and all of a sudden, great death and great mourning is coming upon you. And that about we constantly warn you left and right. Great families getting ready to move through this land, and that about the Lord is getting ready to lay this place down. This place is for be a wasteland, desolation. And that about is that we constantly warn judgment is right upon us. And that about it that it is at the door. We constantly warn you left and right, even though we're sounding like a broken record. But that about we're gonna constantly do the will of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. And also in that video, he said that you try to go to get gas, you're trying to get money, and that about it that a lot of people gonna bug out of their mind because they not gonna understand what's going on right then, and that about it, they're gonna try to call on their true power. The Lord said, "They shall seek me early, but they shall not find," because it's about to get real. And that about we constantly tell you left and right, and that about it that if you don't have that mindset, that wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of the time. It was the only thing that would keep you stable in these times of trouble. Jacob's trouble, it is right upon it. And that about it, we constantly warn you left and right. We're at the beginning of sorrow. So now we get started with the lesson. We get started with a quick precept. One moment. We get started with a quick precept. Let's go to one moment. Let's go to Sirach chapter 5 and verse 7. We'll start here. Sirach chapter 5 and verse 7. And it reads, Make no tarry to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. So that about we read upon that day of vengeance, and that about a lot of people are not making no type of advances to try to seek the Lord. And that about they're constantly in their leisure. They're constantly thinking that they're a good case, just relaxing, having a great old time, traveling, being merry, and that about it. As of the days of Noah, as of the days of Lot, and that about it, you will be totally destroyed in thy security. So a lot of people are comfortable here, and you're getting ready to die. And we constantly warn you left and right. Famine is coming in a big way. And that about a lot of people are getting ready to starve to death. Cannibalism is coming back. A lot of people will have desperation, and that about it will be a lawless time. You know what I'm saying? It will be neighbor against neighbor, brother against brother, sister against brother, and it'll be an all out order out of chaos. And that about it, that we're not ignorant of Satan's device, and that about it's coming upon us. And that about a lot of people say, "Oh, it's not here. We're still eating. We're still a drinking. It's still a sunshine." This is the quiet before the storm. The Lord said, all of a sudden, the Lord said He would come like a thief in the night. So a lot of people are still laid back, still relaxing in their leaves, and that about it will cause your demise. So now let's go to Ezekiel. Let's open up the lesson. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 5. Ezekiel chapter 5, and we'll start up at verse 16. Ezekiel chapter 5 and verse 16 said, when I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine, which shall be for their destruction, and which I will send to destroy you, and I will increase the famine upon you, and will break your staff of bread. And that about that staff of bread is your necessities, your way of life. And that about, like you eating good right now, all that will be taken away from you. What will you do when you got to look for food every day? And that about, you don't know where your next meal gonna come from, or where you gonna bathe at, or where you gonna be living. And that about the Lord is getting ready to take all that away from you. And that about it, He said, in that day you shall know that I am the Lord. And that about it, that the Lord is constantly is moving through the earth, and that about His Spirit is moving through there, and that about we're measuring the time diligently, and that about we are watching, praying, and being so the staff of the bread, the Lord is getting ready to snatch it away, because a lot of people are fat off the hog right now. A lot of people are not considering. A lot of people ain't even thinking about the Lord, thinking about their true power. And that about is that, but they're in for a rude awakening, because the Lord is getting ready to snatch all that away from you. And that about it, that in thy security you will be destroyed. And that about a lot of people still are eating good, eating all this pork chops, baby back rib, all these abominations. And that about it is getting ready to come to an abrupt end. What are you going to do? And that when you don't have anything to eat? And that about it, did you seek the Lord? And that about it, if the Lord is not dealing with you, you'll get ready to die in ways that you don't know how. And that about it, we constantly check great depth, great mourning. It's right upon it. We at the beginning of sorrow, a time of trouble that we have never seen before. So now let's read it once again. Ezekiel chapter 5 and verse 16. When I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine, which shall be for their destruction, and which I will send to destroy you, and I will increase your famine unto you, and I will break your staff of bread. Verse 17. So will I send upon you famine and evil beasts, and they shall breathe thee, and pestilence and blood shall pass through thee, and I will bring the sword upon thee, and the Lord has spoken it. And that about the Lord is getting ready to perform. And that about those evil arrows, which in fact pestilence, famine, the sword. So the sword is drawing nearer and nearer. And that about we read upon our destruction. The great day of the Lord is fast to approach. The indignation of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. And that about we constantly warning you left and right. So your way of life, your necessities, all the things that you have right now at your fingertip, it's convenient. But that is about what are you going to do when you got to try to hunt for food, when you got to look from day to day to try to provide for your family. And that is about it. It will be no provision. And that is about it. The only provision that you need to be seeking right now is Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. So these evil arrows are getting ready to fly. And that about that, the 2/3, and also the heathen nation, the one that's constantly scoffing and constantly provoking Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. And that about the Lord is getting ready to bring that recompense and judgment right upon us. We're right upon judgment. And that about famine is coming to America. And that about either you believe it or not, it is here. It's getting ready to be a global event that you had never seen before and never see again. And that about it's called Jacob's trouble. And that about that we're right upon that time, a time of trouble that we have never seen before. So great death, great mourning is right upon us. So now let's go to Second Ezra chapter 15 and verse 15. Just a quick lesson through the Spirit. Second Ezra chapter 15. Second Ezra chapter 15 and verse 15. One moment. And it reads, for the sword and their destruction draws nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hand. Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. So that about it, the sword in their destruction is drawing nearer and nearer. Those evil arrows, the Lord is getting ready to bring that judgment. It's famine, starvation. Also, it's all sorts of calamity is getting ready to fall upon the ones that did not seek the Lord. That about that rebellious house. And that about it, it would be sedition among men. You know what I'm saying? With those cyber attacks, when the lights go out, no water. And that about it, people will be bugged out of their mind. People will be going crazy. And that about it, robbing, stealing, and killing. All those things get ready. And that invading army, which in fact, it's a UN troop. They're getting ready to come in, whether you believe it or not. And that about it, we're right upon that time. And that about it, you will have to make a decision. Either you choose life or you choose death. And that about it, a lot of people would not be able to buy sin unless you take that, what. And a lot of people are still playing game, still are not concerned, walking around like they're something, walking around in great pride. And that about it, that, great misery is getting ready to fall upon you. And that about it, that, you don't have any food to eat. You hadn't had water for days and days. And that about it, you're going to get very desperate. And a lot of people think they will not eat another person. And that about it, in that time, you would do anything. And that about it, you do not have the faith. And that about it, you're not walking with Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua. You're getting ready to be destroyed. Great death and great destruction is right upon us. So now, let's start back up. Second Ezra chapter 15. Let's start back up at verse 16. And it reads, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. You in truth, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. So that is about it. They're not going to pay any attention to the police. They're not going to pay any attention to this fallen government. They're not going to pay any attention to the military. And that is about it, it's going to be a kill or be killed. And that is about it, it's going to be a lawless time that we have never seen before. A lot of people are going to be crying, vexation of spirit, even though right now you're married, happy right now. But that is about you're going to be crying and howling, and the Lord gonna say, "Go cry to the gods that that you love," which in fact is white man Jesus, and also white man, the so-called white man, which in fact is the devil that the Bible speaks of. And that about the Lord, a lot of people are still trusting in this fallen system, and that about it that you'll get ready to die here. Starvation is coming back in a big way. A lot of our people are getting ready to starve in a big way. So the body count is getting ready to be great. So now, Second Ezra chapter 15, we'll start back up at verse 17, and it reads, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Verse 18, for because their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses and with the sword and spoil their goods, because the lack of bread, and for great tribulation, for the lack of bread, food, water, your necessity, medical supply, a lot of things that you need to constantly thrive. You know what I'm saying? That about to have a regular life, and that about all that will be cut off. So a lot of people will be in desperation. A lot of people will have great fear upon them. And a lot of people will be dying right before your eyes. The Lord said that, because that about when it's time to seek the Lord, you did not want to seek the Lord. You did not want to hear the prophet. And that about you still think that this is a game. And Biden already said it is about to get real. It is about to go down. And that about we constantly warn you left and right. And that about that we read upon that time. And that about you seeing that they telling you that all these ships are still out in the Gulf of Mexico, still are out on the East Coast, on the West Coast. They're not letting anything in. All the trucking company that move our freight from state to state, they are just coming to a complete stop. And that about it, this place is constantly fading away. And that about it, the Lord is constantly breaking this place down brick by brick. The foundation is just this place is totally destroyed. America is finished. It's the end of the dollar. This digital society, they're getting ready to try to roll it out. And everybody, we're constantly warning you left and right. So that everybody, we're right upon that time. And everybody, we're in the end time. The signs of the times are all around us. And we're constantly warning you left and right. And everybody's there. It's going to be a time that we have never seen. If you don't have the Lord on your side, you are going to be destroyed. We constantly warning you left and right. But a lot of people still are not considered. But that about it. It is about to get real. Famine is coming to America. So now, let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 16. Just a quick lesson through the Spirit. Don't mean to be rambling. 2nd Ezra chapter 16. One moment. 2nd Ezra chapter 16. One moment. And we'll start up at verse 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 17. One moment. One moment. We'll close out here. One moment. One moment. 2nd Ezra chapter 16, and we'll start up at verse 17. And it reads, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? Verse 18, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, and the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Verse 19, behold, famine, plague, tribulation, and anguish are sent as scourges for a minute. Verse 20, but for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourge. So that everybody's there, you know what I'm saying? We're seeing all these scourges are coming upon us. We're constantly telling you left and right. They're telling you about food short. They're telling you about cyber attack. They're telling you about this digital society that's getting ready to come into play. And a lot of people still are not considered. They constantly want to do wickedly each and every day. And that about it will only cause your demise. And that about we constantly telling you left and right. Wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth. The Lord is getting ready to cleanse this place. And that about is that, you know, we're right upon that time. And just like we said, great death is right upon us. A lot of people do not want to hear that. They want to hear a smooth thing. You don't want to hear a thing that's soothing to them. But that is about it. You're in for a rude awakening. A lot of people are getting ready to starve to death. We constantly warning you left and right. They're putting us in a chokehold right now, trying to make you a petrol slave. And that about it. If you accept that pseudoscience, that AI, and that about it, you will be totally destroyed. Will not be able to buy and sell. Will not be able to go into another city. These mandates, they're getting ready to come down in a big way. And we constantly warn, it is here. It is at the door. So now, let's start back up at 2nd Ezra chapter 16. We'll start back up at verse 20. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourge. Verse 21, behold, victors shall be good and cheap upon the earth. They shall think themselves to be in a good case, and even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. And that is about these evils are constantly growing all around, and people still are thinking that they have sunshine, constantly drinking and being, constantly traveling, constantly want to build in this decaying society. And that is about it. They're in for a rude awakening. Still want to be in league with the so-called white man, still want to be in league with this fallen government. And that about it's no government. And that about it, that this place is finished. We constantly warning you left and right, but you cannot see right now because you have a strong delusion. But that about it, that you'll get ready to wake up in ways that you don't know how. And that about it, that the Lord said that he's getting ready to bring it. Those evil errors is getting ready to come. The sword, the famine, and passion, their evils are constantly growing all around us. And the only one they can see is the house of David, the prophet. We constantly sighing and crying left and right. We are sounding the alarm each and every day. And that about it, you have been well warned. So now, 2nd Ezra chapter 16, and we'll start back up at verse 22. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. So a lot of people might escape the hunger, but that is about the sword, which in fact the military, the guillotines, a lot of different ways the Lord are going to bring his judgment upon the earth. So that is about it. You still thinking that you're a good case, but that is about it. You know, either you choose life or you choose death. Two parts therein will be cut off and die. We read upon judgment, and that is about it. The great day of the Lord is right upon us, and that is about it is at the door. And we constantly warning you left and right. This is the end, and that is about it. That, you know, hey, we are here, and that is about it. That famine of the word is coming in a big way. The Lord is getting ready to snap this truth out of the world, and that is about it. We constantly warning you left and right. That great tribulation period is right upon us. May the 22nd, and get ready to try to discuss the sovereignties of America. And that is that beast system coming alive. He had power to give life to the beast. And we constantly warn you left and right. That 5G blockchain system, it is coming alive. It is coming online. And it's time to seek the Lord while he can be found. So now, let's one moment. Let's drop down to we'll close out. Let's drop down to verse 36 and we'll close out here. And it reads, Behold, the word of the Lord, receive it, believe it. Salaka, let's start over. 2 Ezra chapter 16 and verse 36. And it reads, Behold, the word of the Lord, receive it, believe, not the gods of whom the Lord spoke. Verse 37, Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. So that they're not slacking down at one bit. They constantly boom, 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 boom. They constantly rolling. You know what I'm saying? Cyber attacks. They're telling you about food short. They're already talking about a great famine in California. You know what I'm saying? They're saying that the water is very low in the western part of the United States. That great drought is coming. And we constantly warning you left and right. So it's all sorts of evils are growing around and they are not slack. And the Lord is getting ready to do a mighty work. We constantly telling you left and right. The Lord said, believe in him. And don't believe in the gods of this world. A lot of people are blinded by the God of this world. And it will only cause your demise. And say, if you don't have the right mindset, and when we get ready to go to this time of trouble, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people get ready to start it. A lot of people get ready to die in ways, horrific ways. And that is the judgment of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. So this is our great deliverance is coming. The Lord said, through much tribulation, ye shall enter the kingdom of heaven. So the great tribulation is getting ready to come upon us. And all these evils are constantly growing and growing and growing. All hell is getting ready to break loose. And in the middle of the Lord, we're constantly sighing and crying left and right. The New World Order, it is here. The MOTB, it is here. World War III, it is here. And the Lord, he is right above us. He is here. He's getting ready to return and set things back into order. So our great deliverance is right upon. The Lord said, look up. Our redemption draws near. And we trust and believe in the Lord. The Lord said, my servant shall eat, they shall be hungry. My servant shall drink, they shall be thirsty. And we cannot wait because we trust and believe in Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. So the title of the day's lesson, once again, is Famine is Coming to America. So I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakadash. I like to say, Shalom.